What's going on, guys? My name is Johnny. I'm the coach of your Cologne Conkeldurrs, and I am bringing you guys our GPC Season 5 Week 1 match versus the Surey Litleos and Matt. Matt is an awesome battler. He just recently won the Token Minority Summer Tournament, if I'm not mistaken. So big congratulations for that, and shout out to him. His link will be down in the description. Go check him out. He's probably one of the best competitors in the GPC, although this season is stacked as it is. Now, I will start this video by quickly going over the team I drafted, because I didn't do the draft analysis, and I'm going to discuss the matchup for a bit, say which team we brought, and then we'll move on. So, let us begin. Our draft, the Cologne Conkeldurrs, we were in the 10th draft position, I think, throughout the whole draft in Division B with 12 people, and I think we got a quite decent team. We were able to draft Megalopony, which is like one of the best megas in the format, if not the best. We have Jirachi, Hydreigon, Victini, Tentacruel, Gligar, Granbull, Murkrow, Rotom Frost, and Porygon. Regular Porygon, because I have 1 point left over. And why not? It isn't to get out by Lander's Ice Earth Power, I think. Maybe not. Anyway, so that's the team we drafted, and it's not the best team. It's a decent team, decent defensive team. I dislike my defensive options, but hey, can have everything, right? So, continuing. Our Week 1 opponent, Matt, he has a really scary roster. He drafted Rain. But Rain is typically looked at to be not the best in the format because of Bulky Waters being the most prominent form of walls in the format, and many Pokemon learning other weather abilities or weather moves to set up weather and stop that. It's quite a tough matchup for our team because our 3 water resists are Hydreigon, Rotom Frost, and Tentacruel. Not good. It's not the best. It's going to be a really tough week for us. We have to go a bit out there to stop his rain sweepers from completely obliterating us. Apart from that, his team as a whole is Tornadus, Therian, Ferrothorn, which is obviously really good in rain because of Hurricane and the fire weakness being mitigated, Politoed, obviously, Rotom Wash, which is an annoying pivot, Diggersby, Mega Heracross, Kingdra, Kabutops, and Alakazam, and Surskit. He also had a point left over. So, really scary team. To discuss the fast threats and Tornadus, Therian, and Alakazam, which is good for us because our fastest one is Megalopony, and he outspeeds them naturally, so we're good on that part. However, the biggest advantage of Megalopony is that it's really hard to check offensively because of its speed, and since he has the 2 Rain Sweepers and Swift Swimmers in Kingdra and Kabutops, the problem is that Megalopony will have a really hard time because he actually has 2 things that can outspeed and revenge kill it. So you kinda had to go there. Apart from that, he didn't have the greatest switch in. Like, his fighting resists are Torrentee and Alakazam, which both don't appreciate the normal stab, or even the fighting stab when it comes to Alakazam. So yeah, we wanted to capitalize on that. We obviously needed to figure out some ways to beat around Wayne while still having switch-ins to the likes of Diggersby and Mega Heracross and Kabutops. So it's really difficult for our team to keep up on our offensive pressure versus his team while still being able to switch into him. So I had to go a bit out there in planning. Well, not really, but I had to bring some gimmicks at least. Okay, so starting our team, as you see on screen, we have an Eviolite Prankster Murkrow with Thunder Wave, Sucker Punch, Brave Bird, and Sunny Day. Now, you might ask yourself why I'm running Thunder Wave and Sunny Day. Thing is, I might use Sunny Day not only to stop a sweep, but to weaken his attacks as well. Plus, Thunder Wave has the potential to, some of the ones had, for example, Kingdra, if it runs Outrage, has the potential to carry a Lumberry, and if I'm not sure about that, I can at least go for a Sunny Day and stop the sweep. Thunder Wave obviously for speed control in that regard. Sucker Punch is nice for the Alakazam, and Brave Bird was originally there to not give the Mega Heracross a free switch in. The problem with Murkrow this week is that I really struggle with Ferrothorn and Rotom Wash. I can't really switch into those, but as you can see on the right side, he didn't even bring Rotom Wash, so I'm not too worried there. But I give Ferrothorn essentially as a free switch in, which is why I have to play around this, because I don't like getting rocks up on my side of the field. Next up, we have our Mega Lopunny, pretty straightforward, with enough speed for his Alakazam, or Tornadus, whichever is faster. I think it's Tornadus. Or are they the same? I don't know. Enough speed for that. Jolly nature, max attack, rest in HP. With high jump kick, hits a lot of his team. Fake out to break Sash on the Alakazam, although I am fully aware that he might care to protect. However, I don't really have anything I can do about that with my Mega Lopunny, because even if I carry quick attack, I will still be killed after. Next up, we have our mixed all-breaking Hydreigon. Now, Hydreigon is pretty nice in this matchup. It kind of shits all over his defensive core. Fire Blast and Draco Meteor kill everything. This only Dragon Resist is his Ferrothorn, which gets obliterated even by Fire Blast, even in the rain, from a max special attack Life Orb set. And the outrage is there because I fully expect something like an Assault Vest Tornadus Therian or a Spadaf Polito to try and pivot in and scout for the Fire Blast. And if I can catch them with the outrage on the switch, it's going to do a tremendous amount of damage to those as well. So I really want to capitalize on Hydreigon's wall breaking power. Again, if he brings a more offensive team, Hydreigon will struggle because it's outsped by his two Rain Sweepers in Rain, by Alakazam, and by Tornadus. So it's kind of hard for me if he brings a fast offensive team to deal with it, and Hydreigon might become more dead weight than anything else. Which I have to admit didn't really see in team planning. I was prepping a lot for his slow wall breakers, and was relying a lot on my gimmick on Murkrow and my switching to handle the Rain Sweepers, which is kind of cool. But yeah, you can see the team he brought on the right. It's exactly the team against which Hydreigon wouldn't fare too well. But hey, at least it had the potential to rip his team. Next up, we have our choice card of Rotom Frost, and now Rotom Frost is awesome. Why is Rotom Frost awesome? Because it's essentially Bolt Beam coverage, stab Bolt Beam coverage, and with a choice card, Thunderbolt, Blizzard, Volt Switch, and Will-O-Wisp, this thing can actually put in a lot of work versus the entirety of our opponent's team. Outspeeds everything, can freely Volt Switch if he doesn't bring Diggersby, and Diggersby isn't really switching when I have Blizzard and Volt Will-O-Wisp. I did not want to bring Trick because Rotom Wash is actually a big nuisance to my team, and I didn't necessarily want to trick it a Choice Scarf and make it a bigger threat for me. Will-O-Wisp is nice for residual damage and cleaning up or essentially crippling his physical attackers as well. Also, being able to get some chip damage onto the Ferrothorn, which I would have loved to Choice Scarf, but hey, can't have everything, right? Why can't... Okay, you have to bear with me, I can't scroll down any further right now. My last two Pokemon, you can't see them on screen right now, but only left, is Granbull, physically defensive with leftovers Intimidate, Rest, Sleep Talk, Super Fang, a Play Rough. Shout out to my boy Wyatt for suggesting the Rest Talk Granbull. I originally had another one. Rest Talk is nice for his team because Granbull has, with Intimidate, can take on the Kabutops, the Diggersby, and the Mega Heracross. And because it's a bit pressured if he brings more than two of them, I have Rest Sleep Talk for reliable recovery. Play Rough, again, his only fairy resist is Ferrothorn, and I can hit that with a Super Fang. Leftovers just there for passive recovery. And last but not least, we have our Tentacruel, our premier water resist this week with Black Sludge and Rain Dish. In Rain, I actually get a really solid amount of recovery with this Tentacruel. I have Scald, Giga Drain, Rapid Spin, and Magic Code. Now, I wanted to bring T-Spikes. However, I wasn't able to fit rocks on my team because my main rock setters are Jirachi and Gligar, and Jirachi in hindsight might have been good. I didn't want to bring it because it's essentially can't really hit Ferrothorn in the rain for too much damage. Gets outsped by sweepers and is a bit overwhelmed. Plus, I felt I needed the other mons on my team more. So, and Gligar versus range team, yeah, you see the problem. So, I wasn't able to bring Stealth Rock this week. So I decided to go with Magic Coat on my Tentacruel because I could leave it in on the Ferrothorn, I thought, and just Magic Coat up hazards on his side of the field by doing so. Yeah, we're going to see how that turns out in the match. Giga obviously there for the water types on his team, especially Rotom and Politoed and potentially his sweepers because it's my premium water resist. And Rapid Spin to get rid of rocks on for my side of the field. Now that we did this, let's move on to the battle, which is nice. Here we go. We're in the battle. Hey, that one was smooth. Smooth guy. Okay, so let's hop into the battle right away, I say. Now, here we can see he brought Alakazam, Tornadus, Therian, Kingdra, Kabutops, Ferrothorn, and Politoed. So immediately I am thinking it's a pretty straightforward team. Focus Sash Alakazam for my Mega Lopunny, an AV Torti offensive pivot, First Staff Ferrothorn, Spit Dash Politoed, and 2 Rain Abusers to kind of fuck my team. Which is cool. Not so cool because Hydreigon doesn't get to put in as much work as I wanted it to. It probably in hindsight should have brought something else on it, but hey, I immediately knew that. Rotom is looking nice, and Lopunny decimates his team if I can get rid of the Ferrothorn and the Politoed to stop his rain sweepers. Right now, yeah, so let's hop right on into the match. As I lead off with my Rotom Wash because it's essentially a free Volt Switch or a free hit onto his Tornadus if he doesn't expect me to be Scarfed, or his Politoed, which I thought he might lead with to get the Rain instantly, and I want to weaken that because I want to get rid of Rain ASAP. So Ferrothorn obviously can kill me with a Gyro Ball, and that's no bueno, so I have to Volt Switch out of here, and I'm going to go into my Tentacruel. This thing is, as he goes for Gyro Ball, Tentacruel is designed to take on this Ferrothorn pretty well. Ferrothorn can't really do too much to me with my recovery, and yeah, so I just go into my Tentacruel, and here I Magic Coat because that was the plan. I thought he might want to try to get up some hazards as he goes into Politoed, and I reveal my Magic Coat, so now the thing is essentially useless because he can play around that. He goes into Politoed, sets up his Rain. I have no problem staying in here. Between the recovery of Black Sludge, Rain Dish, and Giga Drain, I can take any hit and get a decent amount of health back from this thing as he goes for Scald, and he repeatedly goes for Scald Burns. Like, I know what he's doing. But the problem is I don't really have the best switches. Hindsight, should have probably switched out into Rotom and started to get back some initiative right here, because I lost a whole lot of initiative right now by staying in with my Tentacruel. Plus I let my my main water resist get worn down, which isn't the greatest. Yeah, so again, going to go for some Scald and finally get the burn, which is sick. It's Scald. No, not gonna lie, it happens. But my plan was here to get rid of this Politoed. However, I don't have rocks, and I will not get rocks up on my team, so as long as he can keep it in the back for basically as long as he wants and switch in as much as he wants, combat back in as often as he wants. So this is huge problem for me, and because I didn't force this thing out immediately with my Rotom, he is now able to Psychic me, which he now reveals after he got the Scald Burn, and even damage my water resist further. Now I go into Murkrow, as he predicts a switch and goes into Ferrothorn, so no good. And I make another misplay. I T-Wave the Ferrothorn. While T-Waving Ferrothorn is nice, I completely forgot about Gyro Ball. And I was like, when I did make the play, and I was like, why? Why even strengthen Gyro Ball when my only real switch into that is my Tentacruel, which is so important for the rest of his team. So yeah, big misplay, Murkrow. I had to save Murkrow here because I still needed the Prankster, and now I had to keep rocks off the field because my Murkrow doesn't have roost, and my Murkrow is below 25%, so it dies about 2 rocks on the switching. So a couple of big misplays by me early game, which lost me a ton of momentum and made it really hard for me to get back into the match. He goes for rocks. As I said, I have to spin, and essentially I have to sack my Tentacruel to not be swept by Rain the next time he comes in with a Rain Sweeper. But on the other hand, I now get swept by Rain probably too, because I lost my main water resist. He goes for Gyro Ball. I switch to Hydreigon because at this point I realize Hydreigon isn't doing too much. I go for the obvious Fire Blast, get a crit on the Tornihawk. I might have predicted here, but I wanted to get rid of this Ferrothorn, which was such a big nuisance for my team. I have to sack Tentacruel here, to get some initiative back my way. He gets up his Rain, and I'm like, fuck. What do I do now? I don't really have much. So I go into Rotom. I need to kill this. I can Volt Switch here, get back initiative. Now I get into my Mega Lopunny. And this is the situation I wanted, because essentially Mega Lopunny gets a kill right here. And I knock out the Ferrothorn, so rocks are gone, which is good. It takes some damage, but that's okay. Now he can go into, but now he has freedom to go into his Kingdra, and basically something does. Like, my water resists are gone. My main water resist is gone. I don't have a Surf Switch in. Hydreigon is low. I don't want to switch in Rotom because it can still do some work. Yeah. That's what happens. Go down goes Hydreigon. I go into Murkrow, and I was, as I said, fearing this the Lumberry Kingdra. So I go for Sunny Day. I don't know if he wasn't Lumberry-ish, but if I might have clicked Thunder Wave, which would have probably been the better move, because I could triple this Tornihawk right here. And yeah, now I go into my Rotom because this takes on Tornadus really well. He goes back into his Politoed and gets back up with Rain. So hey, and he gets back out. I Volt Switch here, and I go into Lopunny knowing I can kill something. I kill the Tornadus, and I lose a Pokemon. As simple as that. Kingdra comes back in, I lose a Pokemon. Goodbye, Rotom. Okay, so we're down 3 and 4. It's looking not to get. This time I go for the T-Wave, realizing my mistake, and lose my Murkrow in the process. Now, but again, I can get back into Lopunny, and now it's just with the Rain and with his Rain still being such a problem. It's a kill for kill scenario, which he basically wins on the fact that he has a Sashed Alakazam, which I can take out in one hit with my Lopunny, and that in Rain both of his sweepers outspeed my Lopunny. Or only the Kabutops left, so I go for Fake Out to put this thing in range, and then I finish it off with a high jump kick because I didn't think Return would do it quite enough. Now here I switch out into my Gramble. As I said, it's physically defensive. I can take any one hit from this Kabutops. Waterfall, as you see, just not enough to KO me. I can go for the Play Rough here, I suppose, and finish off this Politoed. No, I double. Oh, I double to preserve the Intimidate in the back. I believe it wouldn't have mattered either way. If I had killed this thing right away, Kabutops would have come in. Well, it might have mattered. I'm reconsidering. Kabutops would have come in. I could have Play Roughed that. I doubt I'll knock it out though. And without the Intimidate, I wouldn't have lived the... No, that was my thought process. Without the Intimidate, I wouldn't have lived the Waterfall. So I had to double there, going to Lopunny, and Lopunny gets another kill. And now he can just safely go out into his Sash Alakazam. I have to go into Gramble because I don't know for sure he is Sashed. I knew, but I couldn't really be that certain. So I go back out into my Alakazam, into my Gramble, heap, sack it, and then I go into Lopunny, click Fake Out. He has the Protect, and that's good game. Yeah, so really good game to Matt. Really enjoyed our week 1 match. Was a fun game. Mega Lopunny got all my 4 kills. Pretty tough how it turned out for me. However, again, as I said, Rain is a pretty tough matchup for me, and I'm not feeling too comfortable with my team yet. I think I can make it work, though, in future weeks. I just have to get used to the kind of team we have, and never really played with such an offensive draft. And there are a few months I'm not really comfortable with, but hey, I'm not that mad at myself with the performance. I kind of made these missed plays early games, but those were like Yeah, they were they were misplaced. I brought my Tentacruel to deal with the Ferrothorn, and it's just kind of weird because Tentacruel was supposed to handle everything on his team, barring the Alakazam main, when the Tornadus mainly. And Tentacruel isn't that doesn't have reliable recovery, and I let it get weakened and Scald burned early. So yeah, that was kind of wasting a win con. I was always like thinking, what do I have to do for Mega Lopunny? But I completely lost track of what he really needed to do. So kind of misplays on my part. I'm hoping to clinch back next week when we face the 2 for Drapion. So I hope you stick around for that. My name is Johnny. I'm the coach of your Cologne Conkeldurrs. Cheers. I'm out.